Hi, everybody. I'm doing something which is a little different than my other podcast. This is all because of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra that I have done lately. And my school buddy, my friend, my guide, my mentor took me and some others for this trip just this May, which has gone by. And we have all come back with greater experiences, greater understanding of self and Kailash. And I could not have not done this with Venkatesh Maheshwari. We call him Venki. So I pushed it to have this podcast, especially so that people understand that legs and lungs definitely, but there's much more beyond that which will take you to Kailash. So here he is, my friend Venkatesh Maheshwari. As I said, we call him Venki, so you'll hear me calling him Venki again and
Yes,
again, and I hope you're fine with that, Venki.
absolutely, Vandana.
So I want you to share from your heart. I know it will come that way about your relationships with mountains. How did it start? ये कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? School में तो तू कुछ और था. And then
Yes.
then suddenly I know you after many years. You summited the Everest too. So where did it all start from?
So, school में, as many people know me growing up in Goregaon suburbs, very conservatively brought up kid, suburban Marwadi family में, it's very outdoors and adventure is not there. But ever since I started working, that love for mountains was there. And when I started being independent, I got an opportunity to explore, starting with the Sahyadris and then the Himalayas, and then that connect, and I got a window to connect with the Himalayas, and the Himalayas started connecting with me, and then the journey started in '94, and I was just blessed that it went on and on and on, and have been really lucky to see some of the great mountains across the world, especially the Himalayas.
When did you summit the Everest?
So the dream for Everest was there for many years, but again that fear was there, which was holding me back for many years. That this is something I'm not made out to be, and it's okay to trek to base camps and 5,000 meters. But then the call started growing very strongly on me since 16 that I need to now make an attempt at it. Otherwise, I will only regret if I don't achieve it in my old age. And then I made up my mind and I pushed myself and trained myself for 2 years, and finally in 2018 May I was able to achieve my dream. To be honest, I first dreamt about it in school, that black and
Really?
white video which was channel used to be there,
Uh
DD2, and there was an expedition to Everest which they were showing, and I had that connect कि जिंदगी में मुझे ऐसा कुछ करना है, but
huh.
then you get lost in your corporate life, the rat race we all learn to
But we need the money to reach the Everest
and
also, no?
and money. So finally, mustered up the courage, and the calling happened, and the dream manifested itself. Actually, after 30 years, after me
Wow.
having that connect with that mountain.
Yes, but kudos to you to
Thank
achieve
you.
that. We school friends, when he shared with us after his return, we were like appalled and surprised that he's there. And there were some perils also he shared, and we were thanking God that he's back with us and just regaled in the fact that our friend has summited the Everest. So kudos to you again,
Thank you.
Venki. So, Venki, when we had met you after the summiting of Mount Everest, you said that when you go atop a mountain, it's only Shiv around you. तुमने वो शिव की शक्ति के बारे में जिस तरह बात करी थी, वो मैं तुम्हारा चेहरा मुझे अभी तक याद है. ये कहाँ से चालू हुआ? ये जो faith in Shiv, where did it all begin?
So growing up, we were all followers of Tirupati, and that's why being a Marwadi, my name is Venkatesh because
Venkatesh,
family
yes.
believed in Tirupati.
Uh-huh.
But as I started exploring the mountains and especially the Himalayas, वहाँ पे एक चीज सिंपल रियलाइज होती है, वहाँ पे एक ही रजनीकांत है वो शिवा,
Rajnikant.
लिटरली एक ही.
Rajnikant is our Shiva.
तो मतलब you can feel the power of him all around there, and Shakti Devi temples are there, and for me the mountains started communicating in different ways, the blessings came in different ways. जब तक मैं 27 का था मैंने ऑलमोस्ट सारे ज्योतिर्लिंगास कर लिए थे कवर, 11 आउट ऑफ 12.
Wow.
केदारनाथ काफी बार जा चुका था, and I could feel the influence of Shiva in my life, right, in a lot of ways. My daughter was born incidentally on Shivratri.
Wow, nice.
That's just one of the things, but many times I went to the mountains, and I could feel I could communicate to something, and that's really what you call a connect. When you communicate to something and you get an answer back. And for me, that journey which Shiva started since '95, once I started going to the Himalayas, and over the years, that communication and that faith and that bonding grew. Every time I wanted something, I went to this. Even for Everest, there was a mountain called Kinnar Kailash,
Okay.
which is one of the Panch Kailashes.
Huh.
I went there for blessing because it was inviting me over a period of time. I could feel that communication. And when I went there in 2017, before going to Everest to seek the blessing, I was the last person that year to do the yatra.
Okay.
Me and three friends, and I went there. I touched the Kailash, and as we start coming down, there was a white snow cover on it, and I was the last person. So it was like God saying to you, Shiva saying to you, "Hey, I was waiting for you,
Welcoming you.
and I was just waiting for you. Now it's closed for the season, right?" And that was so much of mental energy and
Yes.
strength it gave me when I was chasing Everest, that I feel the power of him with me.
Okay.
So, and
Nice.
he's been an integral part of my life ever
Yes.
since.
Very nice. Thanks. So, Venki, you have completed Kailash 3 times, huh? तो पहली तो दो यात्रा तुमने अपने आप अपने लिए की, and this time you made a bold attempt of taking people like us with you, and the group is fantastic. But tell me, as a mentor, as a guide for the entire group, how was this experience for you?
So, my first trip was कि वो calling of Kailash. I had been to all the, as I said, Shiva places in India, uh, Adi Kailash and
पहले वाला तुमने
Kedars.
किस साल किया?
Uh, the Kedarnaths of the world started way back in 90s.
No, the Kailash. The
Kailash first time I did was 23,
23. Oh, not
and
very far.
not very
Ah,
far.
okay.
But I was focusing on my climbs and
Hmm.
everything, and then the call for Kailash was growing very strong. जैसे COVID के बाद में things opened up, I could access Kailash because I have a non-Indian passport. That time it was
Hmm.
restricted entry
Hmm.
in 23 and 24,
Hmm.
and that calling was growing so strong on me, "Ke boss, you need to come here." And I just made up my mind. I called one of my operators in Nepal and says, "मेरे को
Okay.
कैलाश जाना है, कोई भी ग्रुप के साथ भेज दो, कैसा भी
हाँ, हाँ,
पहुंचना है मुझे."
हाँ.
Because it was, that call comes on you.
Overwhelming.
And these are some things I feel. There are certain places you cannot go in the world unless you're invited, right? And
Hmm.
whatever hard you try,
Hmm.
I've seen people do everything right, but somehow hota nahi hai unka,
Hmm.
because just the invitation is not there. So
Hmm.
for me, it was a call and invitation both happening, and I went with a solo. I didn't know anybody. There were six other people from US that time. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish the parikrama because of health issues on the mountain. But that was my first experience with the parikrama, and I think I came back partly. Something was of me was left there. Something of the mountain came back with me, and spiritually, I think I went to the next level after my first visit to Kailash in terms of understanding the universe and everything. And then I went again in 24, and this time I felt that I'm discovering more about myself and the universe and spirituality in a different way. In fact, by after 23, I stopped going to temples around here and there because I couldn't connect with the temples and any other place. Because जब आप हेड ऑफिस जाके आ रहे हो, सीईओ को रिपोर्टिंग कर रहे हो, तो ब्रांच ऑफिस में क्यों टाइम पास करना है, लिटरली. एंड
घड़ी घड़ी वहीं चलते
वहीं
हैं.
चलते. So 24 I went back, the calling was again going on me. So 24 again I went, had a great time there. Saw a lot of different things which I can't talk here, but you experience Mansarovar and Kailash, you experience a lot of things if you really want to talk and feel the mountain energy out there. And then this year again, this was a very good year to go, 26. Uh, from a calendar perspective, also it's
It's
the
the
horse
year
year
of the horse.
and the Kumbh. So
And
uh,
Adhik Mas.
and Adhik Mas. So,
Yes.
and I also wanted to go in the beginning of the season because I knew that core season the crowd will be too much. So I went very early in the season. The first week itself it opened. Wanted to go that time, and so this time there were a lot of people who knew about me and my passion for mountains and Shiva, who had approached me via friends, and this is हमको भी चलना है, लेके चलो, and and so that's how a small group got formed.
So
के
that is
boss,
also some kind of communication. People were informing you that we wish, and you could be the nimit, the zaria to
yes.
take us there.
Yes, and that's how it works. Being a yatri, of course, I had my own spiritual goal, but sometimes I think I'm happy in life if I could make this thing happen for some people, right? Because uh, I know that thousands of operators who operate in the market, and for them, you're just a human body. You come there, they will do the logistics, they will do everything, paperwork. If you can do it, fine. If you can't do it, fine. I wanted to enable the people to do the parikrama, and I didn't want to just take anyone because I'm not a tour operator.
Hmm.
I run this business and the brand. For me, uh, if you're coming with me, come with the intention to finish the parikrama and move to the next level of your own spiritual growth. So how people approached me through friends, people like you, who knew me, and via some friends and relatives, and then we just formed a small group, almost like a private group, to plan this parikrama in May.
So, ये जो तुमने बड़ा कदम उठाया, this is a big step to take people, because somewhere, even whether you like it or no, you don't want to be the tour operator, but somehow everybody is at you, Venki this, Venki that. They're like forever. If you're not around, like I've experienced it myself, he's not around, we are looking, and Venki is taking his time out and sleeping in a corner, conserving energy, and we wait patiently for him to come back to us, but we wait, and then we have our questions. So here is what for you now, Venki, this guiding and serving, नो मैटर व्हाट, तुमने भी हमारी सेवा करी है, हम जो टोटल 14 पीपल थे, तुम्हारे साथ 14 लोग थे, तुम्हारी हमारी तरफ सेवा आई है, इससे कुछ बदला है? हैज योर द गाइडिंग एंड सर्विंग चेंज्ड यू? हैज इट इंक्रीज द स्पिरिचुअल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ कैलाश? कुछ आध्यात्म की तरफ और बढ़े?
So, see, when you are taking the responsibility, आप ले रहे हो कि कुछ लोग भी आपके साथ चल रहे हैं जिनको सबसे बड़ा दो चैलेंज है कि उनको परिक्रमा करने का इंटेंशन है, लेकिन क्या उनकी कैपेबिलिटी है, उनको कोई एक्सपोजर नहीं है 4000 मीटर के ऊपर क्या है, लाइफ
यस।
में कभी गए नहीं है 4000 मीटर के ऊपर, और उसमें हमें टोटल आउट ऑफ 52 हमें 44 किलोमीटर चलना है, एंड वो एल्टीट्यूड पे चलना, उसका जीरो एक्सपीरियंस है, हाउ टू मैनेज ऑक्सीजन है। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो उनको मोस्ट ऑफ द वर्क इज बिफोर वी गो,
यस।
कि उनको प्रिपेयर कैसे करें उसके लिए। तो वी मेड अ प्लान कि हम उनको 2 महीना ट्रेन करेंगे जस्ट टू प्रिपेयर द लंग्स फॉर दिस एंड
लेग्स।
लेग्स, ताकि अगर उसमें अगर आपको परिक्रमा करना इंटेंशन है और आपके लेग्स में ताकत नहीं है और लंग्स में इतनी पावर नहीं है, तो आपकी माइंड अपने आप वीक हो जाएगी। You will be struggling to adjust in that environment, and then you really cannot focus on the place. So first of all, एक प्रॉपर कोचिंग करना है कि फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग कैसे हो। सेकंड है उनका एल्टीट्यूड मैनेजमेंट में कैसे खाना है, कैसे लेयरिंग करना है, कैसे हमें अपनी डाइट चेंज करनी है, हमारी बॉडी पे क्या मैनेजमेंट चेंजेस आएंगी हाई एल्टीट्यूड पे, तो आपकी बॉडी कैसे रिएक्ट करेगी, उसके लिए मेंटल प्रिपरेशन भी करना है। तो दैट वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ द एंटायर प्रोग्राम। It is just not doing the logistics, which I said I'm not an operator. I wanted to make it really happen.
Yes.
And for me,
Your
I knew this.
intention was way more deeper.
Yes, and for me, these people I knew were not coming out of spiritual inquisitiveness, and I didn't want people who are just coming. अच्छा बहुत लोग जा रहे हैं फोमो के लिए, they really wanted to experience Shiva, and मेरे लिए भी वही था कि बस उनके लिए भी वही एक पैशन हो कि हमें वो प्लेस में जाना है क्योंकि कॉलिंग है, नॉट क्योंकि हाँ चलो जाके यहाँ पे भी देखते
हाँ,
हैं यहाँ पे क्या
ये
होता है।
फोमो या ट्रिप नहीं है, ये यात्रा है।
यात्रा है एंड एक कॉलिंग है उनके लिए भी। तो मैं जितना सा खोज सका, जो लोगों को मुझे मालूम पड़ा कि कॉलिंग के लिए जाना चाहते कि हाँ यार मुझे शिव जी बुला रहे बहुत साल से, मुझे जाना है, तो आई फेल्ट कि इफ आई कैन मेक इट हैपन फॉर दोज पीपल, it is it is a way that you can do to them. It is also just elevating you as a satisfaction, and that you're blessed in a way that you could make it happen. It's a blessing
It's a
to
blessing.
make people happen, their dreams happen, and that too with Shiva. And to me personally, this is one of the toughest yatras in our dharma, because a lot of places, first of all, this is outside a country. You depend on some Nepali people to liaison with the Tibetan people who have their own rules, different kinds of rules and controls. It's black and white, yes or no. You cannot control. अपने इंडियन जुगाड़ नहीं चलते वहाँ पे, एंड दैट एल्टीट्यूड, खाने का डाइट चेंज, ओवर क्राउडिंग जो हो गई थी इस साल, स्पेशली जास्ती ओवर क्राउडिंग भी हो गई है, तो उसमें परमिट डिलेज, तो बहुत चीज आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. तो obviously you learn a lot of things which happen, you know from your experience what will go wrong, and that inputs I could bring in because मैं 2 बार जा चुका था कि बॉस इधर ऐसे से होगा और
Hmm.
ऐसे एडजस्ट
Hmm.
करना है.
Hmm.
तो I could bring that into the group thing so that
Yes.
यात्रा जितनी
Yes.
smooth हो सके in spite of all
Yeah,
constraints
yeah.
of
You were
a bit.
observant, you were careful, you were more than careful. You wanted us to follow the T of the various places that we arrived, whether it was in Nepal or Tibet. You didn't want to go against the law. Everything should be done properly. So you
Absolutely.
were our not even our it was like a father figure there taking care of all of us, and it's a blessing definitely towards you. But we have also given you a lot of blessings to make this happen for us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, no, the team was amazing. जो ग्रुप हम लोग काफी इधर बॉम्बे में एक दूसरे को जाने लगे क्योंकि हमने साथ में ट्रेन किए थे यहाँ पे, तो वी न्यू ईच अदर क्वाइट वेल. दैट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ अ डिफरेंस के. एंड मुझे हर एक का बॉडी स्ट्रेंथ मालूम था कि क्या बॉडी स्ट्रेंथ है उनकी टू डू द परिक्रमा, कहाँ पे उनका वीक
Hmm.
पॉइंट होगा,
Hmm. Hmm.
एंड कहाँ पे उनको चैलेंज इन द परिक्रमा आने वाली है.
Hmm. Hmm.
सेकेंडली आई कुड स्पेंड टाइम कोचिंग करने में कि बॉस लेयरिंग कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है,
Hmm. Hmm.
बिकॉज पीपल इसको एस्टिमेट नहीं कर पाते कि 4000 मीटर्स के ऊपर आपकी बॉडी क्या है. आई एम लाइकिंग द कोल्ड, मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है, ये लग रहा है, बट इन रियलिटी योर बॉडी इज ड्रेनिंग आउट ऑल योर रिजर्व्स.
Hmm.
आपकी डाइट खत्म हो रही है और 5-6 दिन के एक्सपोजर के बाद ठंड आपकी बॉडी में बैठ जाती है,
Huh.
एंड
Huh.
then nothing helps. So
Hmm.
really from day one to ensure that everyone's heads are covered, the neck is
Hmm.
covered, hands are covered to be
Yes.
under case. I know couple of group members who got अभी वेंकी पकड़ेगा हमें ना के सिर पे कवर नहीं है एंड दिस, बट आई न्यू द pitfalls of not being very casual on this mountain
Yes.
or any
Can't be
mountain for that
casual
matter.
here. Yes. Yes.
With your protection and gear,
Hmm.
layering can impact you on the day when you need that energy the most.
Yes.
Especially in this case, the second day, the 22-kilometer at Rolma
Hmm.
Pass,
Hmm.
you need to save all your reserves
Hmm.
for that particular day.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
long day and the
Yes.
toughest day. So,
Yes. So, because you were aware of the perils, the good parts, the bad parts, you were guiding each one, and that got you to even understand how different it was to do it for your own self and how it is
yes.
when you have people with you.
Yes, it
Yes.
is very different because people were doing it for the first time, and some of the things they probably may relate to it
Hmm.
now.
Later.
But I'm very happy that most of us did the parikrama, and all of us made it to Derapuk and got the darshan in the morning. The
Yes.
sunrise, the
Yes.
weather was
Clear
beautiful.
skies.
I think one of the amazing things which happens with the good energies for all 3 days we of the parikrama,
Weather was
the weather was
on our side.
just to,
Perfect.
you have to be blessed to have that kind of
Yes.
weather on Kailash. And
Yes.
I remember when we were just leaving Darshan back for the border,
Huh.
there was a whiteout, and
White out.
and we were
Yes.
saying, "Wow, 3 days again the same episode repeated." I was waiting for
Yes.
you guys to
Yes.
have my darshan,
Yes,
kind
yes.
of.
So yeah, it was while we were walking the first day, Darshan to Derapuk, from Yamdwar to Derapuk. He was with us
All the
throughout.
throughout.
Whether we start from the south face, there's west face and north face. He's just not left us on day one.
Yes.
So that joy is another level, and clear skies. जो आसमान खुला हमको बुला रहा है, invite कर रहा है, उसकी तो बात ही अलग
इनफैक्ट ये मेरे तीनों ट्रिप में मुझे पहली बार all three faces,
है.
starting from Yamdar, the southwest face, and then the west face,
हाँ.
and all of them have a different uh, feel of elements of Shiva. If you look at it
Yes,
very
yes,
closely,
yes,
the west face, which is in the hood form, the north face के ऊपर एक छोटा hood आता है, knocks through
yes,
the
yes.
face, and the south face, of course, for me
Third
has
eye.
a third eye, and uh, the lines on the mountains,
Hmm.
3 lines. So this was clear throughout. मुझे नहीं तो हमेशा एक फेस पे by the time there is some cloud cover, but this
Yeah.
time was amazing.
Beautiful.
Possibly it was a group energy, and
Naturally,
it
group
was
energy does matter,
it does
and
matter.
you being our leader has been just sone pe suhaga.
It was amazing fun. Yes.
Yes. So that gets me to this. You said that every group, every Kailash group has its own energy. And what stood out to you about this group, our group? So Venki, अभी अगर हम ग्रुप के साथ गए थे, तो ये ग्रुप की एनर्जी कैसी लगी आपको? अच्छी चीजें बोलना.
No, no. I think मैं तो पहली बार एक कितना बड़ा ग्रुप लेके जा रहा था, and normally I prefer traveling very solo or in a very small couple of friends group. So this time having a 14-member group, only out of which 2 or 3 I really knew from for many years. Uh, rest all were relatively acquaintances for 2 to 3 months, and sometime training. Some had not even met him for the first time actually on the trip. Uh, but I knew one thing which was there, that I had spoken to all of them individually, and they all were coming with their own strong desire to be at Kailash, and that for me was the bigger piece which I was looking for, because मुझे कोई टूरिस्ट को नहीं लेके जाना था उधर. टूरिस्ट जाना 1000 ऑपरेटर्स पड़े, तो उनको एक था कि हमें कैलाश जाना है एंड ये हमारी इच्छा है, एंड ये क्वालिफिकेशन हो गया, देन एवरीथिंग फॉल्स
follows.
फॉलोज, राइट. कि आपको एक है कि ऑफ कोर्स लोगों को एक माउंटेन में क्या एक्सपेक्ट करना, रिमोट एरिया ऑफ नेपाल जो 10,000 फुट पे है, फैसिलिटीज आर वेरी वेरी एलिमेंट्री. सम ऑफ देम वुड हैव नेवर स्टेड इन डॉर्म्स बिफोर इन देयर
Yeah,
लाइफ.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
सो उनको भी थोड़ा एडजस्ट होने टाइम लग रहा है. सम पीपल दो वी आर ब्रीफ देम कि क्या
You
चैलेंजेस आएंगे.
constantly kept preparing us. तुम हमें तैयार कर रहे थे, होटल्स कैसे होंगे, वॉशरूम कैसे
यस,
होंगे, तुम हमें constantly ये बता रहे थे.
एंड जो वॉशरूम के चैलेंजेस हैं, जो 2 दिन स्पेशली मानसरोवर पे अगर आप आश्रम
हाँ
में
हाँ
रुक
हाँ
रहे हैं
हाँ
और देरापुक पे रुक रहे हो,
हाँ हाँ.
आई एम से दैट्स चैलेंजिंग इवन फॉर टफ पीपल,
People,
राइट. एंड
yes.
वो मेंटली प्रिपेयर होना जरूरी है कि आप go through the 3-4 minutes of struggle. You need to be in that
Hmm.
place, but
Hmm.
you have come here for a bigger purpose, and life में ये थोड़ा बहुत तकलीफ, there are small irritants which is there,
Yeah.
but I think most people learn to adapt to it, because what they're getting out there just overrides all the small
Yes, I
nuisances.
totally
जब आप
agree.
कैलाश साउथ फेस से देख लेते हो, अष्टपद से देख लेते हो,
हाँ, अष्टपद,
तो
very nice.
जो व्यू अष्टपद से आता है, जो यमद्वार से आता है, जो वेस्ट फेस अगर आप ध्यान से देखो, लोग मिस आउट कर लेते हैं एक्चुअली वेस्ट
हाँ
फेस
हाँ
को.
हाँ.
एंड आई वाज टेलिंग पीपल टू वॉच आउट फॉर द वेस्ट फेस
हम्म.
बिफोर वी टेक द बेंड टुवर्ड्स
हम्म.
देरापुक.
हम्म.
वो एक लाइफ का एक जो ब्लेसिंग है, यू रियली एम टेलिंग, यू हैव टू बी ब्लेस्ड टू हैव एक्सपीरियंस
हम्म.
दैट ऑन अ
हम्म.
रेगुलर बेसिस. जो
हम्म.
लोगों को दिखता नहीं वहाँ पे,
हम्म.
हमने वो देखा.
Venki,
राइट.
now the best question, because it's about me. So I prepared thoroughly with you, and you were also impressed. My group was impressed the way I was working. You name it, and I was ready to take that challenge. But that was in Bombay. We are in sea level. So as people, as we know, when there are labor pains, you come to know what labor pains are. So similarly, the legs were fantastic, okay? But somewhere I dwindled. I could do the first day. Thank God for that. कैलाश ने मुझे दर्शन बहुत अच्छे दिए, और मेरा लंबा टाइम जो चली मैं मेरे साथ में कैलाश से मुझसे बातें कर रहा था, ऐसा हो रहा था, और मैं अकेली जो रह गई थी. तो ये जो चैलेंजेस रहे तुमने मुझ में देखे, तुम्हें क्या लगा उस बारे में?
सो टू बी ऑनेस्ट वंदना, मतलब मैंने जो ट्रेनिंग प्लान बनाया था, वी वर क्लाइंबिंग 125 फ्लोर्स
Up
straight
down.
and then up, then all 125 floors down. हमने
Yes.
बॉम्बे के जितने भी हिल्स थे सब कवर किए थे,
Mm-hmm.
with backpack, with 2 kg ankle weight. So
Yes, yes.
intensity wise, so I was surprised and
हाँ.
amazed really कि you are into this for the first time, and there were a
Yes.
couple of other ladies in
People.
the group who actually took up the challenge,
Mm,
and
mm,
were really doing very well with the training. And
mm.
I thought बस इन लोग तो कर ही लेंगे, because there were some other people in the group I knew were not so fit, and I was worried about them, but I was pretty confident कि बॉस the आप लोग तो एकदम कर
कर ही
लोगे डे
लेंगे.
1 डे 2, जो
हाँ
जितना मैं ट्रेन कर सकता था
हाँ.
एंड जितना मेरे नॉलेज से ट्रेनिंग रिक्वायरमेंट थी. बट आई थिंक still it is not a question of training. Some bodies just sometimes struggle to adapt after 5,000 meters. It is just not it's a different world above 5,000 meters, and sometimes people can adapt. Sometimes the bodies take a long time to adapt, or just not accepting that kind of thing. And it is quite common for then that oxygen level to suddenly drop after 5,000 meters, in spite of you having trained.
But the
So
sea level people always find it difficult, and for me, who's not done probably 2000 meters also, I don't know in my lifetime if I've done, and I'm reaching 5000 plus. So, breathing to take in air became such a cumbersome activity. इतनी तकलीफ हो रही थी सांस लेने में, नाक तो कहीं था ही नहीं, it started from the mouth. And I kept looking at Kailash, what is the message you are trying to give me? Because अगर इतनी practice की है, you were confident, other members of the group were also confident, I was confident too. और एक दो बार तू कर लेगी, तुझे घोड़े की क्या जरूरत है, तू कर लेगी, like मैं कर लूंगी, और वो thought था, confidence तो बहुत था.
yes,
But उधर जाके जो एक slump आ गया एनर्जी में, चल ही नहीं पा रही हूँ, 4 कदम उठाती हूँ, रुक जाती हूँ और ज़रा कोशिश ज़्यादा कर रही थी टू मैच अप विथ ऑल ऑफ योर स्पीड. I would go back more 20 steps or just stand there for extra 20 minutes. So इसको मैं एक ईगो थ्रैशिंग की तरह समझूं, एक ये इस तरह सोचूं कि ये मेरे साथ क्यों हो गया, मैंने क्यों नहीं पूरी परिक्रमा करी. Is that a thought I should
No,
carry?
no. I think this is you're just overthinking this part.
Okay.
I think first of all, understand from all the people who plan to go to Kailash. Generally, there is a 40 to 50% dropout only at Darchan.
This is normal.
This is normal, and
हाँ.
for 40 50% of the normal because their oxygen levels drop below 70, and then probably their operators will tell them just to do probably do Ashtapad in the bus and stay there for the rest of the thing.
Okay.
Only about 50% or less attempt the parikrama, and about that also majority of them will do it on horse or
Yeah.
with
Yeah, the
a
people who were on
supporter.
the horse could finish it in half
Finish
the
it.
time.
So you are among the few 10 15% of the people from the at least the Indian community who made it to Derapok. So you should
Okay.
first of all pat yourself on the back.
Okay. Okay.
And that you did so well on your first walk over 5,000 meters, having never walked about 3,000 meters. I think you must say you have got a special blessing. I would look at the other way. To be honest, preparation is one, but after 5,000 meters to walk is simply on a hill is not easy. Even for trained people, sometimes they struggle. So I think you did amazingly well. Speed is irrelevant in this matter, and I'm happy that most of the group
Yes.
walked up
And
to
without any accident, without
without
any
any
issues,
accident.
people reached. So that is Shiv Shambhu's blessing on all of
And
us.
I think whatever we got is a blessing. There's no
Yes.
communication.
Yes.
We got
Yes.
clear views
Huh.
of all the faces, and that's the blessing you got. Whether you walked slow or you struggled a bit is irrelevant. People struggle on the mountain. So you are among the 10% people who walked. So you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I also feel at hindsight and then you retrospect and you think that I could reach there, I could see all the faces, and the next day also till the van was called for us, I was watching the north face for maybe 2 hours, just sitting there. So that is blissful. But yes, I intend to come back with you and do the parikrama with God's
Absolutely.
wish, with Shiva's blessings and his mahima. If I can reach there, I would definitely like to do it again with you.
To be honest, one point I would say is that you did it walking till whatever point you did it is something you should be happy about. And
Okay,
you
I'll be
didn't
happy.
let your mind get weak. I'll take the horse from day
Yes.
one and do this. So
Yes.
you decided to walk, and that's itself a
There
thing. And
was
you
a
did
yeah, I
you
did.
did walk till
Yes,
Derapuk.
yes. So there was a moment, Venki, I don't know if I've shared with you. I think 1 hour was still left, where on the poles I was standing. Every time I would take an extra breath, I dozed off. And I dozed off for 5 seconds, 20 seconds, I don't know. But I woke up as if I want to live. I woke up with a jump start, and the porter was staring at me, and he would not talk. And then I spoke to him to the north. I had reached the north face by then. I said, "What is the information or message? तुम क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो? मुझे कुछ बोल रहे हो? तुम्हारी तुम्हारे दिल में क्या है? मैं क्या करूं?" And then when I had that jump start, I said, "Okay, keep me alive." ये मुंह से निकला मेरे कि मुझे जिंदा रखो, मुझे मेरे घर वालों के पास वापस जाना है. आई डोंट वांट टू लाई टू यू और ऑन दिस सेट that I want to go back, and probably in God willing, your will, I will come back and see you again and try and finish Dolma.
Yes.
Dolma Pass is my thing that I want to finish that yatra also.
And the calling will come, but I think it happens. It is sheer exhaustion to people who are not used to walking at that altitude. So these things happen. You get exhausted, you slow down, sometimes you just want to rest and catch a power nap. So it's quite common, but when the willing is there, you still made it slow. So I don't
Yes.
think it's there. And yes, if the invitation has to happen, it will happen from that thing. As I said, a lot of people, and I don't know about your thing, but you feel that um, something of Kailash has come back to you. And
Yes,
when
a
I
lot.
came back, it started coming to me every day morning. I can't see
Yes.
temples or anything more. I just
Yeah,
see Kailash as my.
I wake up with the southwest face, the way the Hanuman on the side, you get to see Hanuman on the side. I
So it's
wake up with that
to
thought.
that thing, and once they will start knocking you more to come back.
I would love that. I would
And
love
that
that.
time you need to prepare more, and maybe this time do some Himalayan treks before
Yes, yes.
you do that.
Yeah, I think viewers should know this also, that to reach that high level, one should do a couple of treks in Maharashtra and other states
Yes,
to
I
understand what is air thinning, rarefying, less oxygen.
Yes,
It's a
people
tricky.
should take some experience on the mountains before. A lot of people who come to the store going to Kailash, I
Hmm.
ask them how they train. Oh, we trained for 2 hours today, and then we are going to train 2 hours next Sunday. I said that's not good enough. There you are going to walk back to back on a
Hmm.
tired body,
Hmm.
so you need
Hmm.
to train, which is
Hmm.
what we're doing
Hmm.
3 days at a stretch,
Hmm. Hmm.
so that you really can do the best on your last day and struggle the most on the last day with 6 hours.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
2 hours are not good enough.
Hmm.
You need to have 6 to 8 hours of walking because that's what you're going to do
Going to
there.
do. Hmm.
You just can't land up and do that. It's like doing your board exams without your prelims. So you
Hmm.
need to work on it here,
So
and then
the
maybe a few treks in Himalayas
hmm.
or higher altitudes,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then approach it to really make it much more easier for you to
So as much as you
go.
can prep, as much you can prepare your body to bear the less oxygen at these high altitudes, which gets really tricky. The preparation can be way more than what you assume it is.
Absolutely, you need to, because this, as I said, is one of the generally a
Toughest.
6,000 meter or close to 6,000
Right, right.
meter
Uh-huh.
trek is generally tough by any standards
Any
for most
standard.
people.
Yes, yes. So here is my last question, Venki. What is the gift that Mahadev has given you in all your expeditions, all your mountain climbing, all the Jyotirlingas that you've been? Gift क्या मिला है तुम्हें?
So I think every trip I've got 1 inch closer to him, and getting closer to the Mahadev is the biggest gift I think I can get on this. As I said, there is, for me, he's the boss right now, and that's the only uh, connection to me in spirituality is Shiva, and I've left everything else as my medium of communication, uh, regular puja,
Hmm,
prayers.
hmm,
I don't
hmm,
know. I can't do that anymore.
hmm, hmm, hmm,
I was doing a bit of rituals before, and this, but somehow he's made me get out of it.
hmm,
And there's nothing right or wrong about it, but I have got with every, like Kedarnath, I've been 6 times, Tungnath few times, and of course the other places. Every time I think I've been able to communicate more and more easily with him, and I think that's the biggest boon, right? And
very
I'm saying
nice.
you're not seeking materialistic things. In fact, every visit to Shiva's place makes more of a vairagi in you somewhere. I feel,
Hmm,
and but the ability to now detach myself with so many things, and the ability to communicate
hmm,
at a conscious level with
hmm,
thing, my own knowledge through different sources on the world, the universe has expanded quite a bit.
hmm, hmm.
And I think what bigger gift than that, that you're realizing more about yourself
Yes,
and Shiva
yes,
every time you go there. So
yes.
you don't want materialistic gifts anymore.
Yeah, this is way bigger. This is
This is
way
way,
bigger.
way, way bigger. As a person, growing as a person, in many other ways, I see things in life. I think this is the biggest gift one can get in
Yes,
life.
I agree so much. And because you have climbed so much, we got you as our gift from Mahadev to take us to this beautiful, beautiful yatra. The feeling as something which has come back with me. It's not left me, and I'm thankful that I wake up with the thought, and when I go to bed, also I have him with me.
Yes,
So
yes,
thanks to you
it
again,
grows on you.
Venki, for letting this happen for all of us. And I'm thanking you from all 14 of us and some more people who had taken your help. They know whom I'm talking about.
Yes,
So it's been very kind, very lovely. We all are together. We spend the return journey also beautifully, enjoying, just regaling in each other's presence. And Om Namah Shivaya, Shambhu has been on our
yes.
side.
Actually, the after we come back, it's almost been like a Kailash family for us, right? It's
Yes.
like we chat, and then the bonding of people who actually didn't know much either before and could have been on their own ways, but Kailash has bonded us well. So Om Namah Shivaya, and I just hope the invitations happen.
Good job.